Hello friends, welcome to another video on my YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to cover GitHub Copilot command line interface. So if you have seen my previous video, in that video we have covered the IDE extension for the GitHub Copilot, right? In this video, we will see how to work with Copilot on terminal. To install the command line interface for GitHub Copilot, you can use a simple brew install gh command in Mac OS. So you have different commands for different OS versions. I'm working on the Mac. So to install it on a Mac, you can just use brew install gh. To install it on a window or the Linux, you can just use those commands. So let me go to them. So on the Linux, you can use this sudo apt-get install gh to get the GitHub Copilot CLI interface, and similarly on the Windows, you can use this winget command. So after you have done that, you can just log into your GitHub Copilot account using gh Copilot login. Gh auth login. So once you will do that, it will log into your GitHub Copilot account, and then you can just check the version as well. I'm showing the version here because with version there are some commands that may or may not work in the future. So I'm on the version 2.92.0. So before that version, there were two commands in the Copilot which were called GitHub Copilot suggest and explain, which do not work anymore. So if you are on the older version, the things may be different for you, or if you are on some future updated version, then things may be different for you as well. So this demo is on the version of 2.92.0. So there are two modes of GitHub Copilot CLI. One is non-interactive mode, which is like on this terminal itself, and one is interactive mode, which is like this. If I go type this gh Copilot command here, you can see an interactive mode opened up right for you. So first time you will enter this command, it will first install the interactive mode if it is not present in your system. Once it installs this, and after that if you run this command, then you can open this interactive mode like this only. So if you see, there is one instruction written on the top, like if there is no Copilot instructions.md found, run init to generate. We will talk about this file, what it does and why it is needed in the upcoming videos. In this video, I'll just cover different features of the CLI. So let's first explore the interactive mode. So if you will see in my demo project, I have created a few random files. So in my SRC directory, I have few TypeScript files, as well as in my utils directory, I have two Python and two TypeScript files. Then I have some .bak files in the backup directory, and then I have some log files as well present at the root. So there is error log, old log, and so on. So as our first prompt for the interactive mode, I'll just provide this. So let's say I want to find all my TypeScript files in the current directory, which is Copilot demo, that we have modified in the last 7 days. So I'll just type this prompt in the interactive mode like this. So let's wait for a minute. So it's looking for all the TypeScript files that were modified in the last 7 days. So now, as you can see, it has given us a command that will do the work for us. So it's also asking us if we want to run this command, or run this command and don't ask again, and no. So I'll just going to choose yes in this scenario. And if I do that, you can see all those TypeScript files are listed here. So it's listing me all my SRC directory as well as the utils directory files. Please notice it didn't return the Python files of the util directory because we were asking for TypeScript files, right? So it didn't return me the Python files. Then we can also modify the command if we want to modify it to exclude a particular file. So like in my SRC directory, there is app.ts present, right? We don't want to return as the output. So we can ask the Copilot to modify the command to do the same. So as you can see, it's given me a new command, and if I now type yes to execute that command, let's wait for output. Yeah, as you can see, now the app.ts is not present in the output of this particular command. So this is how GitHub Copilot CLI work in the interactive mode. Like you can just chat it like you're talking to some person, and you can just ask it to do things for you in a similar manner that we have seen in the IDE, like a chat-based manner. So for example, let's move ahead with the demo. So you can also ask it about the GitHub operations, the Git operations. For example, if you want to do undo the commit that you have just made, and also keep the changes. So if you have worked with GitHub, if you have worked with Git, we know that this is git stash command, right? Let's see what it does. I think I did a mistake while copy pasting. Let me copy this and paste. So here I want my last commit to be undone, and also keep the changes um, in the system. So as you can see, it's suggesting me the same command, git reset soft head 1. So if you have worked with Git before, you know that this is the command we use for that. And this one, it indicates we want to undo how many commits. Like if there will be 2 present here, then 2 commits will get undone. So it also gives us other suggestions as well. Like instead of sort, you can use mixed flag as well as the hard flag. So if you are aware that hard flag removes your changes and mixed flags, it unstages them as well. So for example, if you want to do things like that only, for example, if I want to know how can I preview what would change before running git reset. So let's ask this. See, then it's giving us the commands that we can use to do the exact same thing. So this is how GitHub Copilot in interactive mode works. Like you can just use it as a regular chat, and you can do a lot of operations on it. Similarly, you can ask about complex operations as well. For example, I have these many log files in my system, right? Let's say I want to move them to a archive directory safely. So let's give that particular type of command. So I have old log files in my directory. How can I safely find all the .log files older than 30 days and move them to archive folder? So let's see what it will do for us. So you can ask him to write the script for you as well. So it's giving you all the commands that you can use to do that, right? Let's modify them a bit. So let's ask it to add the logging so that we will know which files were moved. So as you can see, it's giving us the whole script, right? Like first we have to do this, then this prints this, then also saves the log to a file, all those things. So it's giving us the whole script. Then you can ask to create a bash script for you, and then you can run it in a terminal yourselves, or you can ask Copilot CLI to run it for you. So let's get a simple script from it. So let's me type this thing. So it's giving us this simple command, right? Let me ask it to execute it, or you can just copy paste it, exit the terminal interactive mode, and do it yourself. Let me ask it to execute it. Can you execute it as well? Let me check. It is just doing the same thing, right? Yeah, let's execute it. Yeah. So as you can see, 3 files got moved to archive. So if you see here in my project structure as well, this access log, old log, and system log, these are now under the archive directory. Now let's exit the interactive mode, and let's see some commands in the non-interactive mode. How the non-interactive mode of Copilot CLI works. So the non-interactive mode of GitHub Copilot CLI, it uses different flags to execute your prompt. So -p flag is used to pass the prompt to the GitHub Copilot CLI, and this -- allow tools, it allows the Copilot to use all the tools available if needed to execute this command. So let's provide the same thing, find all TypeScript files in the project, and I'll just allow all the tools for now. So if you don't want to work with the interactive mode, you can work with the things like this. So for example, in your script, you can just add these commands, and you can just run that script, and Copilot will do the things for you. So the CLI mode is better in that case. So as you can see, it's giving us some logs, like it's searching for the files and 7 files found. After that, it's giving us the names of those files. If you want just the output and don't want these kinds of logging, you can just use the silent feature of the silent flag of the uh, Copilot. So if I add a flag called silent here, Yep, so as you can see, the output is a bit different. So here we are just getting the names of the files, like in the SRC directory these are present, in the utils directory these are present, as well as if you will see above, before giving us the output, it also gave us the log about what operation it is doing, like it's searching for the files and it found 7 files. Also you can change the output structure as well. For example, here I think I'm getting a markdown. Let's say let's ask him to return it in JSON. So return the file names in JSON if it has bullet points. Yep, so now as you can see, the structure of the output is different, right? Now we are getting the file names as bulleted points. The format is now different. So you can also do the similar things that you have done with the ID integrated extension. So also, like we have seen the efforts and the model here as well, right? So in the ID extension you can change the effort as well as the model. So if you go to model here, if you have seen my last video, there were you can choose the model as well as the effort level on that model, right? Same things you can do here as well. So for example, if I want the effort to be low uh, on this particular same prompt, I'll just remove the silent part here and I'll just add the effort low. So you can just choose the effort level for the particular model to run this command. To select the model on the GitHub Copilot CLI, you have to go to interactive mode. Let me do that. And let's say if I enter yes and select the model command, so you can see all the models that are supported by the CLI are present here. So I can just choose any one of them. For example, I'm not at the time I'm on auto. Let me select the Haiku one. Then I'm working with the Clyde Haiku model for this particular session. So this is how you can change your model in the CLI. Let's exit it. You can also name your sessions in the terminal based CLI. For example, when you work with interactive mode or in interactive mode in the GitHub Copilot CLI, it creates a session for you. So let's say you are working on something today and you want to open the same session tomorrow when you come back, so that it remembers all the conversation history that you have done with it. Like you don't want to explain things on its own. So you can all name the sessions for you. For example, let me name it like database optimization and I'll just run this command. So what it will does, it will name my session with that particular name and it will open that interactive mode. So let's see, I'll just run the same prompt. So let's wait for it to return the output. So the output is coming. It has found 7 files. Now if I exit it, and let's say I tomorrow come back, I want to continue my conversation in the same session. Then you can continue the session something like this. For example, GitHub Copilot -- continue. So using this command, whatever the last interactive session was for you, it will just open it by default. So if I do this, it will just open up in the same interactive mode. So as you can see, the TypeScript files are they present here, right? And we just asked for the TypeScript files in the last interactive session, right? So it's opening us that only. But if you want to open something else, for example, you have many sessions present in your system and you want to open a particular one, then you can also use that using the resume flag. So let's, instead of continue, let's type the resume, and if you are not giving any name after it, it will just ask you for choose one of them. So as you can see, all these sessions are present in my system. I have too many. So the recent one I created was database optimizations, right? So I'll just enter it and I'll just select this one. So as you can see, it opened up the same session again. So you don't have to start things over and over. You can just save it in a session on your system and you can resume things from there tomorrow as well. Then there are some commands present in the Copilot CLI for MCP servers, agents, and skills. So I'll be creating different videos on all these topics like MCP, skills, and agent. But for the demo purpose, I'll just show you a few commands. For example, if you type MCP here, you can see there are commands present here for adding an MCP, deleting an MCP, editing or disabling an MCP. And there are also commands present for adding an agent and everything. For example, if I want to add an agent, I'll just create a new agent and I can just I can choose the location of the agent where I want to create it, like at the project level or at the system level where it will be picked up by every project. So for now I'll just do the project level, and as you can see it's asking me to enter the name, and then it will ask you to let's say test agent. I'll just do the test agent, and then it's asking the description, maybe let's say to um, find all the files. None, I'll just say none for custom instructions. And then it's asking us to select the tools, what tools we want our agent to use. Then it created an agent for you, right, based on your description and everything. So if you will go here, if you see, if it has created a .github directory and an agents directory, inside that it has created an agent for you. So it was a very simple agent, like nothing present here, but you can also do it manually. So we'll cover all these topics in a separate video. For now, let's see when to use the CLI and when to use the ID extension of the GitHub Copilot. So if I go here and go down, so this is the comparison table that you can follow while working with both. So for example, like if you are working on the quick command syntax, like if you want to figure out some commands and write a bash script or things like that, you can just go with the CLI mode. Like it works with the commands very well. Like if you are running a bash script and you want to integrate the Copilot CLI with that, like you can use the terminal mode. Like you can just provide commands there, and you can just pass the output of the GitHub command to other commands and things like that. You can just treat it like a bash command. Then obviously shell scripting, git operations, all these things you can do with the command terminal mode of the GitHub Copilot CLI. Then if you are doing the code generation and refactoring code and things like that, like writing test cases, understanding the code, debugging the code and things like that, the ID extension is better for that. For example, you can just open it here in the ID itself, like this, and you can just ask it to explain some code for you, or you can just write new code, add test cases, debug things, like ask it to debug things for you as well. So for all these things, the ID extension is better, I feel. So again, it depends on you. Like the terminal mode also changes the code for you. Like if you will ask it to add a let's say go to my app.ts and add a dummy method for me with name test demo. So I'm asking it to edit some code on my app.ts. So it's reviewing the file app.ts. It has you can see the logs coming up. It's reading the file, then it's editing a file and adding a test demo function to it, like console.log test demo method called. So if I do the yes, it will edit the file for me as well. So now if I go to my app.ts, which is present in src directory, you can see the method is now added here. You can see it's the recent addition. So it can also do the same things for you, like it can read the code, explain the code and things like that. So it's up to you, but I feel for terminal based things, like CLI is better. Like it's in the terminal and does things better there. And for the editing the code or for explaining the code and everything, I generally use this GitHub extension of the uh, idea or the VS code. Depends on what editor you are using. So that's all for this video. I hope you like it, and please share and subscribe, and have a nice day. Thank you.